So, in our first scenario, sexuality education is a close collaboration between the family and the school. This scenario is called Help with Homework. In these scenarios, we'll look at different layers, both how the scenario is experienced for a child and the network surrounding the child. We also base each scenario on a number of political and societal assumptions. These are, of course, completely fictitious. However, they're based on political research and ideation with experts on what might be plausible. So let's start there. We are now around 10 years into the future in the scenario called Help with Homework. And we take a look at a fictitious chain of events that led us from here to there. So, after the election in 2025, Arbeiderpartiet managed to remain in Stortinget for another period, through closer collaboration with the left side parties. There was broad political agreement that sexuality education in schools had to be improved, and that there should be a closer collaboration between the school and the parents. The result was a strategy Learning Together for sexual health in the school and in the home. Shortly after, it was decided that parents with children in primary school were to receive mandatory sexuality education. How was this received by the parents? Cora has a child in 4th grade. She gets an SMS reminding her about the first of these meetings. These obligatory meetings is our first future artifact, covering several topics within sexuality and how to talk to children about it. At the meeting, a lot of the parents are happy that this is finally on the agenda. However, some parents question why this is even a topic at such an early age. To ease these tensions, parents use conversation cards from UDIR to reflect on their own sexuality education and knowledge, and the goal is to better understand each other and why the topic is important to cover early. Over time, this development eases the taboos around sexuality in the public sphere considerably. How does this affect the life of a child? Noah is in 5th grade. He comes home from school and tells his parents he got a brochure for the kraftceremony. The kraftceremony is a new type of ritual of passage, celebrating individual growth and sexuality as a natural part of it. After discussing with friends and family, Noah decides to have his kraftceremony later that year. Right before his ceremony, however, his dad gets an SMS from the parents-in-law. They have decided not to come because they think it's inappropriate. Noah is disappointed, but decides to go through with the ceremony anyways, and celebrates with his closest friends and family. What you do in your kraftceremony is up to you, and at the end of Noah's ceremony, he reads a poem he has written to reflect on who he wants to be as a person. These are some glimpses into one potential future. We want to reflect on what happens when the consensus is that sexuality education is supposed to be celebrated and discussed publicly, and how we might bridge the gap between that majority and the groups who still see it as a taboo.